Okay, let's talk about the payback method, which focuses on the payback period, which is the length of time that it takes for a project to recoup its initial cost out of the cash receipts that it generates. So when the net cash inflow is the same every year, the formula for computing payback period is pretty straightforward. You take the amount invested and we divide that by the expected annual net cash inflows. So the decision rule then is when using the payback period that the investments with the shorter payback periods tend to be more desirable, all else being equal. So here's an example where we have Terra Firma, and they're considering investing $240,000 in hardware and software to develop a business-to-business portal. The company expects the portal to save $80,000 each year for the 6 years of its useful life. So the amount invested, $240,000 divided by the net annual cash inflows of $80,000 means they will have paid back that hardware and software within 3 years, and then they will continue to generate $80,000 for the next 3 years. Now, when the cash flows associated with an investment project change from year to year, the payback formula that we just talked about doesn't work. And instead, you have to track it year by year. So in this particular case, you have to actually look at the inflows from each and every year. So let's say a project requires an initial cash investment of $4,000. So at what point does the company recoup their $4,000? Well, you'll see here it's right after year 4 because 1,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,000, then they will recoup and then start to make money after the 4th year. Here's another example. We've got 2 different projects, 2 different investments. Which one has the shorter payback period? So we have to look at the outflow. Both of them have an initial investment of $100,000. So at what point is that $100,000 recouped? You can see for Project X, it's recouped after 2 years. Project Y, it's recouped not quite at 2 years. They would have to go into that 3rd year. So Project X would pay back just slightly faster. Now, let's talk about some of the shortcomings of the payback period. One is that the payback method doesn't consider the time value of money. And 2, the shorter the payback period doesn't always mean that one investment is more desirable of another. And the reason is it's ignoring all the cash flows after the payback period, and it doesn't have any mechanism to account for that. So if you have 2 investments and one of them will generate more money after the payback, that might be something that you should take into account. Now, the strengths of the payback period, it's a great screening tool to help identify which investment proposals are in the ballpark, so to speak. 2, it can aid companies that are cash poor in identifying investments that will recoup cash investments quickly. And 3, it can help companies that compete in industries where products become obsolete rapidly to identify products that will recoup their investment very quickly.